Hi everyone, today I'm at the Obsidian Vineyard where I wanted to come to do a little bit of pruning so you all could see how we prune our vines. And the Obsidian Vineyard is a fun one to come to for pruning because it really exhibits how thoughtful you have to be about pruning. These scraggly old vines are very low vigor due to the lack of water that the Obsidian Vineyard receives. So you don't necessarily do a normal traditional pruning. But I'm going to do that first, and then I'll show you how we do the obsidian pruning. Now, the principles of pruning are basically that it allows you the opportunity to position, to take away vigor. Anytime you're removing the wood, you take away a little bit of vigor, and to decide how much crop you want to leave. So inside each of these buds, here, here, and here, you already have about 5 to 7 leaves formed for next season, as well as 2 cluster primordia. So there's already generally 2 clusters within each of those buds. So anytime you're taking buds off, you're removing fruit. You always want to try to keep things as low as possible. Now these scraggly old vines, you know, they're starting to get up here. At this point, there's not much we can do about it unless we can lay down a new cane. So normally, with a typical vineyard, you want to choose the lowest position, unless it's very thin and scraggly like this one. We'd cut that off and do 2 buds. You don't count the basil, 1, 2. Cut this one off, don't count this basil, 1, 2. And we just go through. This one I can take the lower position, 2 buds. This one I'm going to take the position closer to the trunk, leave 2 buds. Here, same thing, and you just go all the way through. Now, because obsidian is so low vigor, the stored sugars in these trunks, there's not as much of them, and so there's not as much energy to support the amount of buds you might leave in a normal vineyard. So what we do is actually, for obsidian, take literally half the fruit off, or half the buds off, so that the stored energy in the vine is capable of growing these shoots at the beginning of the season, to where the leaves can get old enough to start producing their own sugars and support further growth. Now another way to prune, this is called spur pruning on a cordon, and another way to prune is called cane pruning, which is generally thought to be a little more difficult but can be really good for re-establishing a cordon if you have older vines, or just helping vine balance. A lot of people do it with Pinot Noir. And in cane pruning, you lay down a new cane every year, so you have to cut off the old cane like this. And then you want to choose the strongest cane that's as low as possible. And you generally have an idea of how many buds you want per cane. And you simply lay that cane down like this. And then you leave a spur here that has 2 buds on it. These 2 buds will grow up here, and they provide opportunity to lay down a cane the next year. And then so each of these buds will grow a shoot up that'll have 1 or 2 clusters on them. Normally, not obsidian, it doesn't work that way. And that's how you cane prune. And then you'll come back through and tie all these down before spring.